Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel Marketing Data.
This video is going to show you how you can quickly and easily customize your error pages. Let me first tell you what an error page is. You may have encountered them before if you've been on the internet any length of time. For one, you might enter a URL to a page on a website that actually does not exist. Maybe you got an incorrect URL from the creator of the website. Maybe you just entered it incorrectly. It could be a host of things. Maybe the website's just down for maintenance, whatever. Let me demonstrate here what a 404 error page is. In this example, a 404 error page is what you're going to get whenever you enter a URL to a page that does not exist. And this is what you're going to get whenever a page that you typed in up here does not exist. Now there's a bunch of other error type pages as well. If you're trying to access a page that is password protected, it might come up and say forbidden. I think that's a 403 error page. There's a bunch of different types of error pages, starting with a 4, like 400 something. Another one starting with 500 something. That's more serious. That's more of a server type error. And I think there's even some like in the 300s that start with 3s. Here, let's go ahead and take a look. Come on back to our cPanel control panel. Scroll on down to pretty close to the bottom in the advanced panel and click on error pages. And if you've got several different domains or even add-on domains assigned to this particular cPanel account, you'll have a drop-down box right here. Let me show you. I think I've got one over on this one. This is a totally different web hosting account that I just toggle back and forth to kind of show you the differences between two different web hosting services. And here we go. Yeah, this one will show all the different domains that I've got assigned to this cPanel account. So whether it's add-on domains or just additional main domains, if you've got more than one, you'll have this drop-down box here. And if you wanted to customize your error pages, they will be domain specific. So make sure you choose the one you want. And in this case, there's only the one. So we come on down here, and these are the most popular error pages. And if you want to see all of them, you can click on this and it will show you all the possible error pages in existence, at least insofar as your web hosting service is concerned. Now, a lot of these I would just simply not mess with, but you have the ability to customize them if you wanted to. And I'm going to demonstrate that with the 404 error page like the one I just showed you. Let's come on back here to the common error codes, and you just click on the little pencil icon here to edit it. And you've got some options here. You can just type in direct text, or you can type in HTML. And you've got these special tags up here that will document, for example, the visitor's IP address, maybe the requested URL, to let the person that is seeing the error page see that, okay, I see where I made the mistake. It's not actually this, it's this. So you can put in the tag that shows the requested URL, and that will show them this / and then this page right here. And you can do that by adding this particular tag. Just click on that button and it shows it right there. Here, let me demonstrate. Let's back this up here just a second. And I've got Composer, which is a free HTML editor. Got that open, and I just created this HTML page pretty quick. You know, just something customized. And what I want to do here is just grab the source, and that way all of the color, the link, all this stuff, if I had an image in here, everything that's in here, by me grabbing the source, all of this here, from HTML to HTML, I don't need this stuff up here. This way I'll be able to keep all of this information intact. And if you're not familiar with using Composer, maybe you've got a different HTML editor, you can create a website or a website page, post it on the internet, and then just go up to, let me get this out of the way, go up to the page anywhere you've got it, right click and view page source, and you can select all of the HTML code here and do the same exact thing. Okay, so, but I'm demonstrating this using Composer. Now in this case, I just put my cursor right up here at the very top, click on paste, and all this stuff right here will show the exact same way as it did on Composer. Now if I wanted to, I can come on down here, and this video is not on HTML, so I'm not going to bother too much on what all these codes and stuff mean. Just showing you that you can do this. I'm going to put in here, and then the hit that, and let's say, and that. Okay, now then, and while limited, you do have some formatting options here. Frankly, I would much rather do this stuff in a editor like I just did with Composer and then copy and paste it into here. Go and click on Save, go back, and here's the normal or default 404 error page, and there we are. That's the customized. Now, I didn't add some HTML code to bring these guys down. Let's go ahead and go back here and do that now. 404, we want to re-edit this, and right here, this is just putting a break between the two lines of code, so that will bring this down on a second line all on its own. Likewise with your IP address on another line all on its own. That's what this stuff's going to do. And click on Save. Go back. Come back here, refresh. And there we go. And that is how you can quickly and easily create a customized error page. And this is not just for the 404 error page, but you can do the same type of customizations to any of the other error pages. Of course, you want to make them specific to that type of error. Something like this will not work on a 403 forbidden page, but I think common sense will play a little bit in that. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that let's say you come on in here and you no longer want this customized error page. You want to delete all this stuff and go back to the way that it was. Well, the problem with that is just by deleting that does not bring it back to the way that it was. Let's refresh and I'll show you. This is what it is now. To get it back to the way that it was, because you should have some type of an error message in here, whether it's the default or the one that you customize. But to get it back to the way that it was by default, you want to go into the file manager for that particular domain you added that customized page on. Go into file manager, and there'll be an SHTML page in there for the error page that you customize. In this case, it's the 404. Just select that, delete it, and refresh, and there we are, back to square one. And that is how you can customize your error pages. This video is going to show you how to create a favicon, which is short for favorites icon. In other words, anytime that you encounter or somebody else encounters your website page and they want to save it in their bookmarks or favorites, well, it's going to have a little icon up here in the tab. This is the Chrome browser, by the way, and it's a little bit different in different browsers, but tabs or windows, there's going to be a little icon up here, and in the browser bar here, there's going to be a little icon, and if we open up the bookmark section here, scroll down until we get beyond the folders and into the actual favorites here. You can see how these icons over here next to the website page kind of stands out more than those that do not have the favicon or favorites icons. Well, that's what I'm going to show you how to create and add to your website. And this can be done with a typical HTML website or a WordPress website, but I'm going to show you how to do it with a standard HTML website like this guy here. I just grabbed this out of my hard drive, and it was just a web page that I had laying around, and I've got it under demo. But this is the icon right here that I'm going to have look similar to this. Well, it's not going to look like that, but it's going to have its own icon that we're going to create now. Now, if you do a search online for favicon creator, you're going to have several options to work with. I'm going to show you how to do it with this guy here. It's the favicon.htmlkit.com/favicon. And it's pretty simple too. You've got an image, for example, if you've got a logo that you're working with on your website, that would be a great place to start. I'm just going to use one that I've got just laying around for a cPanel icon. So we want to first go over here to choose file. What a lovely dog. And you want to navigate to the location of your image that you want to turn into your favicon. And that's a pretty big image, by the way, but that's one thing you don't have to worry about because it's going to customize it and bring it down to size. So generate favicon ICO, and there it is. Now if we go back here, let me go ahead and show you that image. I'm going to bring this in. I want to show you just how big that image is. 612 pixels wide by by 287 pixels. So you can see it's kind of like that big, but this program brings it down to size. Now, it's probably not the best example, but you can see what it will look like right here as a demonstration. And you've got some other customized options here that you can work with, but I want to try to keep things simple. We're going to go ahead and download as is, and it creates a little zip file for us. Put that in my working folder. And it's not a lot. There's 2 images and a little text document. So let's go ahead and open up that zip file and show you what's inside of it. Again, you've got 2 images here. This is really the only one that I want to mess with. This one here would be animated if you chose to customize your favicon by using the animated GIF, but I didn't, so I'm not going to bother with that one. But if we open this up here, this gives us the instructions on what all to do. Basically, at this point, since we're not going to use the animated GIF, this is the only line of code that we need. So I want to copy that into my clipboard. Now I also need to upload this ICO file into the root directory of that domain. So I'm going to open up my FTP client. I'm going to be using Qt FTP. Now you can do the same thing with the free alternative, FileZilla, and I've already logged into the location of that root directory of that particular folder, and that's this right here. So now I need to navigate to that image, which is desktop working. Here we are. Inside of that folder, and that's the ICO file right there. Upload. Now this is the index.html file that I need to edit and add that code, a little line of code that I've got copied into my clipboard. So I need to put this, just like it says here, in between the opening head tag and the closing head tag. Let me show you where that's at. I can edit this index file while it's live on my server using Qt FTP, and you can do the same thing with FileZilla and other FTP clients as well. Click on Edit, and here's the opening head tag, and if we scroll down we'll find the closing head tag right here. So anywhere in between there, I'm going to go right after the style there and enter it there, and I want to save, and that should do it. Let's go ahead and minimize our FTP client, minimize our folder there. Come on back here and refresh. And it might take some time. This time it was instant, but sometimes it'll take a little bit of time to propagate, as they say, and it might be different in different browsers too. It might not show up in the Internet Explorer browser for 24 to 48 hours. But if somebody were to come to this page right now and click on Save It in their favorites, then it's also going to assign this particular icon or favicon to that web page in their favorites. That way it's going to stand out a lot. So it's just another way in which you can brand your web pages by using a favicon or favorites icon. That's going to bring us to the end of this video on how to create and install your favicon. Thanks for watching. You have a great day. Now, one of the most important tasks you're going to need to do on a regular basis is a backup of your online projects like website files or maybe even databases also. Now, on occasion, you might have to restore one of these backups in order to fix your broken website or busted database. This video will cover both the backup and the restore process. Now, once you're logged into your cPanel control panel, in the Files panel, you're going to see a couple of options here, Backups and Backup Wizards. In most cases, you'll see these 2 options. The Backups, click on that. It'll bring us to this page here, and it's good to read this right up here to let you know that pretty much this full website backup isn't going to do you much good as far as restoring your broken website to its unbroken state. These are only good for archive purposes. So I'm not even going to mess with this. For this demonstration, we're going to go down here and either download the home directory, download one or all of your databases, and or email forwarders and email filters if you have those created. Frankly, I'd want to get a backup of anything and everything related to any and all of my websites. And if you've got a WordPress site created, for example, or any other script that relies on the use of a database, then you're going to want to also download the associated database to that script that's included in the home directory backup. So that's why I would just go ahead and download everything into a folder that has a date on it. That way you know that in that folder that's dated that specific date, you have a full backup of everything that was on your web server at that time. Let's go ahead and do this. Just click on Home Directory. Navigate to the location on your computer where you want that file to be downloaded to. And again, I would create a folder, give it a date, maybe label it also backup for such and such, and then click on Save. Now you can see here, it's not your typical .zip file. It's a .tar.gz file. And by default, I do not believe that your Windows decompression software will actually work with a tar or a GZ zip file. You might need to try something like the free 7-zip, which is what I use. It'll unzip anything. Anyway, go ahead and download this. And frankly, you would only want to unzip it if you're curious, because you do not want to restore or upload the unzipped file or folder. Whenever you go to choose the folder or file, that being the home directory, you're going to want to look for the zipped file, just as you had downloaded it. You select on that, click on open, and it will begin the restoration or the upload process. Now, as far as the specific databases, the same exact thing. You would click on the databases, and I would go with all of them and download them into the same exact dated folder. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this because I think you got the idea. Same with the email folders if you've got any of those, and any filters that you've already created as well. And that is how you can quickly and easily get a full snapshot or a backup, and how you can also easily restore from that backup the folders that represent your web server up to a specific date. Now, if you wanted to do this the old-fashioned way, the manual way, you would come into the File Manager, and if you had a specific site that you wanted to back up, for example, I've got a WordPress site here under the dogs directory. Open that up. I would just simply select every one of these files by clicking on this guy right here. It says Select All. Then I'll come on up here and click on Compress. Click on Compress Files. Actually, I would want to give it a name, like, for example, the date, and then maybe tell me what it is. That way I've got the date and the fact that it's a WordPress site and the name of that particular WordPress site, so I know what it is. And then I would simply compress the files, and it's not going to do any harm to the site itself, because what it's going to do is, let me go ahead and reload. It's going to, in addition to having all these other files, it's going to also include this zip file. What I would want to do is get this onto my computer by selecting it, downloading it to my dated folder, so if anything were to happen to my WordPress site here in the future, I could just upload this zip file, and then with it selected, I would click on Extract, and then it would extract all of these folders and files that were contained in this zip file to begin with. Now, with a WordPress site, you also have the associated database, so you would want to download or export that database that's associated to the site. And just to make sure I've got the right database, I would click on the wp-config file, and I'd want to view and see what the database name is. That's the WRDP1. Don't need this anymore. Come on down to my databases in the PHP My Admin, and I'm looking for the WRDP1 database. Click on that. Come up here, click on Export. Make sure it's in the SQL format, because you see there's other ones here too. Just make sure it's in SQL. Click on Go. Everything else is pretty much the way that I want it. And then navigate to the location on my computer where I want that at. And again, that should be the dated folder where my zip file is for that associated WordPress site. Click on Save. Bing, bang, boom. I've got the database, the WordPress site in a zip file. Everything's downloaded and ready just in case my database and or site goes kaplooey. I would be able to fix it in just a matter of minutes, depending upon my internet connection and how fast I can upload those files. And that's it. That's how easy it is for you to do a custom backup and restore, as well as taking advantage of the built-in backup operations of cPanel. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day. This video is going to show you how to create a simple redirect using your cPanel control panel. Now, for me, the main reason behind wanting to create a simple redirect is for affiliate marketing. Here's the situation. Let's say I've got a whole bunch of different websites and I've got an awesome offer on these widgets from this particular product creator, and he's paying a fantastic commission. So I want to put my affiliate link to his offer on all of my websites, because the more traffic I can generate towards his offer through my link, the more commissions I'm going to get. Okay, so all's fine and dandy. 2 years down the line, everything's going great. I'm making a lot of coin off of this affiliate relationship between the two of us. Then all of a sudden, let's say he sells the site, and the new owner of that site changes all of the links, maybe he just doesn't promote that product anymore, and one thing or another, but that link to that particular affiliate product no longer exists. That means that every single website that I have, and this is maybe a year or two down the line, I don't remember all those websites, but every single website that I have that I had that link on, those are now pointing to a dead link. Talk about embarrassing, but also it's just wasted traffic that I'm sending to his or her website, not benefiting me whatsoever. Actually, it's hurting me. Now then, let's back up. If I were to have used a redirect, the way that I'm going to show you how to create one here in just a minute, if I were to use a redirect, then all I have to do is go in there and point that redirect to a different offer. Then automatically that URL that I had on every one of those websites is automatically now pointing towards that new affiliate offer. I don't have to go into each one of those websites individually and change those links individually. I was smart enough in the beginning to use a simple redirect, so all I have to do now, go in, change one item on one link, bing, bang, boom, it's changed everywhere throughout the internet. Okay, now that's the situation, that's the why, now here's the how. Let's go on into our cPanel control panel, come on down here to the domains panel and click on redirects. Now, there's a few different ways in which you can do this, and you got the video tutorial here, but this is the way that I do it. Now, I want to point out to you, you got two options here under the type. You've got the permanent and you've got the temporary. They're going to do the same exact thing, only the permanent will tell the visitor's browser, just like it says here, to update any bookmarks they may have created on that URL. So it's totally up to you how you want to handle this. Myself, I usually go with the temporary if I'm doing this as the affiliate situation I described a second ago. So I'm going to go with temporary, and I'm going to go with all domains. Again, there's a few different ways you can do this depending upon the setup you have. If you've got a bunch of different domains here, then you might want to just select the one. In this instance, I've only got the one domain, so it doesn't matter either way. Now then, I'm going to put the name of the directory here that I'm going to be using on my links. And let's say widgets. Well, you think I've done this before. So this is going to be the URL. It's going to be mydemonstrationsite.com/widgets. That's going to be the URL that I put on all of my websites. And that, when clicked on, is going to point to this URL here, because this is the URL to the affiliate, to the actual product creator's website, where when somebody goes here after having clicked on my link to get there, I've got it set up to where I'm going to get paid a commission if they make a purchase. So in addition to the fact that I have a URL, when at any time in the future I can easily change it by simply coming in here and replacing this, which is maybe down the line a dead link, I can replace this with a new totally different link, and it will automatically take place in all the locations that I have this URL. In addition to that, another reason is that maybe this one here is a very long and ugly looking affiliate link like what you might get from ClickBank, and I can replace that, or mask it if you will, with a shorter link that's much easier for somebody to remember, like me. So there's a couple of reasons right there. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and click on the wildcard redirect. That way, anything that I might have in this directory here will also point towards this URL. Again, this is totally up to you how you want to handle this. If you've got a specific file inside of this directory, then you might want to make those adjustments by putting maybe a / and then the name of that file .php or whatever the case. But this is basically an empty directory right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark that wildcard redirect, click on add. Now then, let's give this a whirl. First off, let me show you what this URL will produce. Right here. This is the, okay, I know, but this is the affiliate page. Let's just assume there's a whole bunch of cool, awesome widgets here, and that when the person clicks on my link, they end up here, and they're going to buy all the goodies, and then I get paid commissions. Okay, so that's what they're going to end up at. But they're going to get there by way of my URL. So whenever they click on my URL here on any of my websites throughout the entire internet, they're going to end up here. Pretty cool. And that is how you can create a simple redirect using cPanel. Thank you very much for watching this video. You have a great day. This video is going to show you just how easy it is to create a Google alert. Now, a Google alert is an email that Google sends you when Google finds new results like videos or web pages or newspaper articles or pretty much anything that match your search terms. You can use Google Alerts to monitor anything on the web. For example, you can set up alerts on your name or company name to help you with your reputation management. Now, let me tell you, reputation management is a fast-growing industry, and while I'm not saying all they do is create Google alerts, I am saying that before you spend hundreds of dollars on that type of service, you might want to try this first. And hey, even if you're still going to go with a reputation manager, then what harm will it do to at least do this as well for free? And there are many other reasons to use Google Alerts besides just knowing what others are saying about you and your company. For example, you can keep up to date on a competitor. You can gather content related to a product that you're researching, and much, much more. Anyway, creating a Google alert is super simple to set up. Let's go ahead and do that now. You want to log into your Google account, and I'm going to be demonstrating this by using a Gmail account. And if you don't have a Gmail account, you really ought to. It opens up the doors to so many free applications that Google offers. And besides, again, it's free. Okay, so I'm already logged into my Gmail account. What we can do at this point is, let me see, I'm looking for a bell up here. No bells. I'm just going to click on this guy here to get me to Google. You can come on in here to More, or I believe you can even go to google.com, where we're already at, /alerts. I think that'll take us there. Yep, there we are. You could also do the same thing by going into More. The problem with this, though, is that you're going to see all the other goodies that Google offers for free, and you may be distracted, and it could take hours before you get to alerts. Okay, that said, all I want to do at this point is type in whatever search query I want, and it can be just a name, maybe your competitor's name, or maybe a type of dog you're wanting to do a product research on, or anything. So let's say I'm doing some research on a particular dog breed. And as I type that in, it gives you some results right here. Now, technically it's called a chow chow, so you might get more specific by typing in the actual name. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, we do get a little bit better results here. And then the result type. Do you want everything related to these search queries? Or you want just that in the news? You want that related to blogs or videos, discussions? I would just go with everything, and then I could always change this later. How often? You've got these options here. And again, these are all personal preferences here. How many? Only the best results, all results. Again, totally up to you. And where do you want it delivered to? If you do not have a Gmail account that you're logged into, then you can just type in the email account that you want it delivered to right here. Or you could hit this and you have it set up into a RSS feed. And here we'll show all of the alerts that you've got created, and you can edit them accordingly. Going back up here, and we click on Create Alerts, and you can click on Edit if you wanted to. You know, at some point down the line, maybe you wanted to change this to a different delivery time frame or a different type of volume. And if we check out the Gmail now, let me see if I've got anything in here. Nope, not just yet. But it won't be long before I get that first email related to that search term. And that's how easy it is to create and manage your Google Alerts. That's going to bring us to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a great day.